afternoon and welcome to the Munster Hurling Final live from Páirc down here in Cork. Cork against Tipperary, the meeting of the All-Ireland champions for the last 2 years. Always an intriguing battle, the Munster Hurling Final, one of the showpiece occasions of the year, of the summer. It's been pouring rain in Cork all morning and sadly that has taken from it somewhat, but there are 47,000 people, maybe a little bit more, into Páirc to see one of the matches that everybody's been waiting a long time to see. And joining me in the commentary box this afternoon, Jimmy Barry Murphy. Jimmy, Cork and Tipperary, there's something about the chemistry of these two teams. They always love playing one another. I don't know about the rest of Munster, but somehow it's the ideal Munster final pairing, it seems.
Well, it is, Jaron. I think over the last couple of years, they're the games that have really captured the imagination. In particular since the 1984 final in Thurles, which was an extraordinary game. They've developed an aura of their own, and since last year's game in Thurles when Cork shocked everybody, this is the game that everybody wanted today, I think.
What about the pressure that players are under? You've been in this situation many times.
Well, it is, but it's a tremendous thing to be involved for the players as well. You can see the atmosphere around town all morning, Tipperary people streaming in, and you'd love to be involved if you're a player, and there's a certain amount of pressure, all right, and I think in fairness to Tipperary, today is a day they want to deliver the goods. They were beaten last year. They feel that Cork got them on the hop maybe, but I know they're talking to the Cork players, they're equally determined. They want to prove that it wasn't a flash in the pan, that they're as good as they looked last year and that they can do it again.
Now both sides very strong on the forward line, could be a high scoring game.
It could indeed, and in particular in the conditions, it's greasy and it's quite windy, and it's a bit disappointing I suppose with respect to a classical game of hurling, but it shouldn't take from it. It's drying up quite nicely now, and hopefully we'll have a good high scoring game with some fantastic hurling, and it should be great evidence of the game.
OK, Jimmy, well, let's begin by bringing our viewers here live at the Munster Final up to date with the minor result, and a good result for Tipperary it's been. Quite an easy win in the end over Limerick in the minor final. They won by 3 goals and 13 points to 1 goal and 5. Well, the teams are out, as you'll have gathered, and we'll take a check now on the team news for the afternoon. There was one place left vacant, of course, we'll talk about that in a moment, but Cork recalled Pat Hartlett to their side for his first championship match in 3 years. He comes into midfield alongside Brendan O'Sullivan, with Cathal Casey shaking off a hamstring injury to line up at left half back. And there's one enforced change at the full back line, of course. Dennis Welch, on whom Lady Luck has rarely smiled benignly, drops out with a finger injury, and All-Star John Considine is an able deputy. Tony O'Sullivan is the team captain, following a terrific year last year when he was part of an Páirc side that went on to lift the Cork crown in the Hurling Championship. Meanwhile, his opposite number in the Tipperary side, Declan Carr, hoping for a bit better luck than his brother Tommy yesterday, hoping indeed to win back the crown in Munster. Tip showed just one change from the side that enjoyed a comfortable home win in the semi-final against Limerick. John Kennedy, an injury victim that day, is replaced by Conal Bonner at wing back, while the highly rated forward line contains so many potential match winners, splendidly led by Cormac Bonner, who complements the skills of Pat Fox and Nicky English. There really is a big, tall man, Cormac Bonner, who is so good at bringing other players into the game, Jimmy.
Yes, Cormac Bonner's a big player, very difficult to handle, and I think he was a very big loss to Tipperary in last year's Munster final when a lot of Cork followers were glad he wasn't playing. I think his loss was certainly felt by Tipperary in last year's final, so it'll be interesting to see how himself and Richard Brown get on today. That'll be a big battle, and could have a very big bearing on today's game.
And young Conal Bonner there, back having picked up a finger injury, well, he's past fit to play. And this is, of course, the day that Tipperary has looked for the last 12 months. This is the one they've been itching to atone for. They believe they were caught on the hop last year by Cork. So two teams with a lot to prove. Cork to prove that that was their true form in last year's Thurles showdown, when Tomás Mulcahy, of course, was the Cork captain. What a great year he had. And Tip, by comparison, well, they want to win back their crown badly. And that's the reason there's so much interest in this year's Munster Hurling Final, the 102nd. Gerald McCarthy on the right there, the team trainer, and he's had the side really flying fit. Mark Foley there, and Jim Cashman coming across for the familiar parade behind the band. And the band this afternoon, we're delighted to say, the Artane Boys Band, always welcome visitors when they come to Cork or to Thurles or wherever their normal habitat, I suppose, Croke Park, but they're here, and Bobby Ryan is lining up behind the Artane Boys Band, and the rain is attempting to ease now, because it hasn't been all that pleasant for the spectators who've been in here for hours now at this stage, trying to get the best possible vantage point in Páirc. Joe Hayes, who always seems to play well against Cork in Munster Championship matches, and Bobby here, who's played in 5 different positions for Tip in the Championship, all of the half-back positions, full forward and left, full forward as well. Didi made his debut here against Cork in 1982. That was a day when a number of the players playing here this afternoon also made their debut. John O'Donoghue there, one of the wise men of Tipperary, preferring the little drop of water. And the parade of the teams then, always one of the fine spectacles which the spectators enjoy so much. Gives them a chance to test out their shouting and cheering capacity on the day. And here's hoping it's going to be a great game. Although Michael O'Brien has been very much the inspiration of this side, and if you're looking for an ace in the team, well, you don't have to look much further than Father O'Brien. Hurricane Boys Band, we were mentioning just a moment ago, they're on a fundraising tour at the moment, and they're looking for new equipment and new uniforms. And indeed, when they played in the Toronto Sky Dome, they were magnificent. That's the scene then in Páirc. That's the Black Rock end of Páirc. So the flags then, and just about every race, it seems, is cheering for Cork. The Japanese are here, the Americans are obviously here. Up at the other end, just in case you think it's all Cork. The other end very much belonging to Tipperary. For administrative reasons, it was necessary to section off the terraces. There's Tipperary fans up there on the Cork City end. And when the band makes its way up very shortly now, you can be sure they'll be cheering as well. Cork today seeking a 46th provincial victory, whereas Tipperary are going for their 34th Munster win. Chaoimh them on hen, and I think Art Finnan is in there, this marvellous flag. Chaoimh them on hill, they're calling it. Well, Cork people have something to say about that, I think. Tipperary people, as Jimmy was saying a little bit earlier, have been here very, very early indeed. They traditionally come early, and full credit indeed, I think, goes to Cork County Council. They don't get mentioned in sports broadcasts all that often. Well, there were roadworks between Watergrass Hill and Rathcormac, and they were all sorted out in plenty of time so that the Tip fans making their way down to Cork would have a pleasant journey to the southern capital. So Ken Hogan going back towards the city end of Páirc for the first half, pulled off some great saves again in the Munster semi-final, and after last year's goal blitz by Cork, he's obviously itching to set the record straight. Declan Bonner watched his brother Tommy yesterday on that losing team, that Dublin side, dramatically beaten by Meath, which we showed you on Network 2 yesterday afternoon in what's proving a festival of Gaelic games here on RTE this weekend. If you enjoyed yesterday's finale, I'm sure if you're from Meath you did, hopefully you'll enjoy this one with us as well. Pat Hartnett there with Brendan O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan, who expends a lot of energy in the interest of Cork at midfield. And Pat Hartnett, the last time he played against Tipperary was at right half back. That was in the 1988 Munster Hurling final in Limerick. Very intense competitor, Pat Hartnett. There you know and admire and know very well, Jimmy.
Yes, indeed, Gerard. He's been a powerhouse for Cork in the past, and it's a great boost to Cork Hurling that he's back in the ranks this year, and he's one of the reasons why Cork are so hopeful. They'll be looking to him, Pat, for a very big performance today.
Cormac Bonner then, running repairs, demonstrated an excellent first touch against Limerick and a fine quickness of thought as well, as I felt, having had a look at that video a couple of times. Mark Foley, the scorer of 2 goals and 7 points in a dramatic Munster final last year. Didn't play in the All-Ireland semi-final subsequently because of injury, but came back and won his All-Ireland medal, of course, against Galway last September. Pat Fox, who's battled against injury time and again, and the scores that he gets always so decisive. Today playing his 24th championship match, Pat Fox. 36-year-old Terence Murray referees his fourth Munster hurling final. Terence, a Limerick man, of course, refereed the 1986 final in Killarney between Cork and Clare, and the two Cork tip clashes in 87 and again in 88. So who's it to be then in this, the 31st meeting of Cork and Tipperary in the Munster hurling final? It's going to be, Tip will play from left to right in the splendid theatre of sport, which is Páirc. So they jostle in the middle of the field there, Brendan O'Sullivan and Joe Hayes, even before the ball is thrown in. And Terence Murray wanting everybody well back. So it's underway, and it's Declan Ryan launching Tipperary's first attack. Richard Brown slipped there by giving the space to Cormac Bonner. Blocked down by Brown, takes the shoulder, hand passed inside. Ryan making a move in there dangerously. This is a good opener, stopped, and it's finally Nicky English who's in there in the thick of the action, jostling for positions. John Lahey was coming in there on the left hand side, and the referee going in to defuse it quickly. Thankfully, unlike other championship matches not involving this pairing, there was no flare-up, and the referee going to throw the ball in between two players. Declan Ryan and Jim Cashman will be the two involved. Referee wanting Shorty McCarthy back, and Lahey. So Tip pressing, Cork defending as Pat Fox comes looking for the first score of the game. Space at a premium, nicely outside to Michael Cleary, and he's put it over the bar, and Tip have taken the lead. Michael Cleary from Éire Óg in Nina, the one who gets the first score of the match. An elusive, fast and decisive player, must be rated one of the most penetrating wing forwards about, with a really rich scoring sense. Ger Cunningham here celebrating 10 years as Cork's #1 goalkeeper. The wind, if there is a wind about, it's slightly favouring Cork, but it's not particularly strong. Tony O'Sullivan inside towards Ger Fitzgerald. It's stopped back there. Paul Delaney coming across. Formerly a wing-back, now a right corner-back into the centre of the field. Taken over there by Lahey. High challenge by Pat Hartnett. Still managing to get it through the centre. Jim Cashman coming to Cork's aid. Across towards Tomas Mulcahy's wing. Mulcahy been marked by Conal Bonner this afternoon. Bonner advancing. Joe Hayes whipping into it with the county of Cork. Considine, already a terrific atmosphere. Great competitive edge to the match as Noel Sheehy defuses that one. Stopped by Brendan O'Sullivan in the middle of the field, one of the heroes last year for Cork. Attempting to play it forward to Pat Hartnett, batted out however. Lahey, having lost the hurley, needing some support. Michael Cleary was there to assist him, Brendan O'Sullivan and John Lahey just getting to know one another in the opening 2.5 minutes. So the outcome will be a Cork sideline ball. Well, a blistering start, Jimmy Barry Murphy.